right?
Yep.
So you already have the context of what we are doing. So we'll just quickly sail through our demo.
Yep.
Fine. So where we were doing 6B. Here we were doing setting up the modules, right? Okay. So as I said, we have a bucket. So modules, I'll just quickly refresh. Modules will have the usable codes. Environment would have dev and prod, and where we would be doing our actual deployments. Okay. So let's take it agile way. Okay, so what we will do is let's say this is our sprint 0, where we would set up the VPC and subnet. Okay, and then sprint 1, okay, we'll do VPC, subnet and security group in sprint 0, which is all network setting. Okay, then sprint 1 we would do instance and the bucket setting, like that we'll do, because we discussed yesterday, right? If we go ahead making subdirectories and all, it is very easy for us to do modular planning and to do a modular way, to do in agile way, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so let's do that way itself. Okay, first we're doing VPC. So vpc.tf. Okay, so we have cider range and VPC name. Okay, that's
Oh, forgot to ask you. So is your health, everything is okay? I didn't ask you that.
yeah,
Sorry.
it's fine. Actually, my wife was having some back pain, so I went to orthopedic doctor to get
Get,
her to get the
okay.
consultation done, and I
Yeah.
think he was in some surgery, so he got late.
Yeah. Okay.
So the
Okay.
time we had appointment, accordingly, everything gets delayed. You
Oh,
know
that's
the punctuality in India.
right.
That's the
Right.
problem.
Right. Yeah. Especially these doctors will take their own time. So yeah.
Yes, yes. And if they are very good doctors, renowned doctors, then you can't even say anything. You just have to
Correct. Correct.
bear with
Yeah.
them.
That's how they trust and they earn money, right? Here, everything just like every body is like just like for them, they treat like a medical procedure. They don't take it like in person, but the doctors will take like some in person, right? Okay, I want to make
Exactly.
sure. Yeah, and we
Exactly. That's
study
what.
a lot too. Yeah, but here, just even if you go for any disease, they look into the online kind of stuff. They give same online medication, nothing much, nothing more.
Ah, hmm.
Yeah, uh,
Okay.
yeah.
So what we did, you remember, we write the generic code for VPC, where we were taking the cider range and the VPC name as input parameters, and that we declared the variable or wrote the variable definition in a variable.tf in parallel to our VPC, right? So now let's move to the subnet. Okay, so now modules will go to subnet. Let's go here. So let me open the subnet.tf. Okay, similarly, my subnet.tf, it will need a VPC ID, it will need a cider block, it will need availability zone, it will need okay, I am making whether this subnet should provide public IP to any of the EC2 which is there in this subnet. That is a variable. These are the things which I need. Okay, now you see one important thing here. Okay, so the VPC ID, okay, cider block, I can give on my wish the input variable. Okay, the availability zone, on my wish I can give it. Okay, now this is hard coded thing. Okay, but see this VPC ID, now this becomes a dependent code. Okay,
Correct.
the VPC which we created, like VPC which will be creating, that input value needs to go in here. So now what we'll have to do is we'll have to go to vpc.tf. Okay, and over here we'll have to create an output block. Okay,
Okay. 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 So does Terraform know, having any intelligence to understand this folder structure, or it doesn't care about any folder structure? I know it
See,
cares about the dependencies and
yeah.
um,
So the for
yeah,
the place, see the structure what it would be caring is, let's say for a module, okay, when you have a variable.tf, you have to define it in the same folder where you have the tf file. Okay, that kind of thing it is expected in Terraform. Okay,
okay,
so you declare a configuration file, whatever variable.tf and all is needed for that particular configuration file has to be in the same folder. Apart from that, you can do the folder structure on your wish. When we define a module, okay, there we give the source path.
yep,
There we mention the structure. There we mention where it has to go and look.
okay, yeah. We use the source like
Okay,
and
so
then we are giving a different path. Yeah, that was okay, okay,
yes.
yeah,
So that source tells it to go and look into that particular folder. But when it goes into that particular folder, it expects the configuration file as well as the variable files and all which are needed to be there in that same folder.
okay, okay, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So yeah. So now description, this returns the VPC ID. Okay. And value would be AWS VPC dot web dot ID. Okay. So that's done. So it would return me my VPC ID.
So
That's done.
now when it oh yeah. Can you, yeah, I got this one. Yeah. Can you just go back to the folder structure now? So when it Terraform will execute in which folder? Just go back to that.
We'll actually write the Terraform execution from within these folders,
From the dev folder.
dev folder and the prod folder.
Okay.
The
Okay.
trigger will happen from here.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
So here we would be creating the main.tf, which will contain the path of the modules. Okay. Which will point to these modules. Okay. So whatever folder structure you do in the modules and all, accordingly you have to write your source.
Correct. And then modules will pointing to the resources.
Yes, modules will point to the resources, the configurable, the reusable resources which we have.
Correct. That is where the
Okay.
source path will come into the picture. Okay, let me
Mhm.
repeat my understanding.
Yeah.
The main.tf will be running on each environment. That is where actually the Terraform is running. And then Terraform will look into the modules and
Hmm.
then the modules, if it has the same variable, everything is in the same module structure, it doesn't look back. But if it has a
Hmm.
source, then it goes to the source and then it executes the actual resource. Is
Okay.
this correct?
Fine.
Whatever
No,
we
no.
configure.
Little confusion. Little confusion. Okay. So we
Yeah,
have main.tf, right? Execution begins from here. The dev and prod, whatever has been written, execution begins from here. Okay. Here in the TF file, if you have a direct definition of the resource, okay, you said it correct, but just let me restructure it properly. Okay. In main.tf, inside my execution folder, if it has a proper definition of the resource, then it will not go anywhere. It will execute it. It will create it. Okay. But in case it has a module block, okay, module block refers to another piece of code. Okay. It's like a function. Okay. Within that module block, you have the source path. Okay. So it will read the source path and the source path will point me to one of these VPC EC2 bucket. Okay. Any one of these. Okay. It will go here. If it wants to create VPC, the source path will contain the VPC path. It will go VPC. Then it will get here. The VPC.tf will have the configuration. It will provision the resource accordingly.
okay,
Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah,
just just let's do it. Once I go on doing, you will
Yes,
understand this.
yes,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. No, got it. Yeah.
So here, yeah. So what we created VPC and we created security group, right? So security, what I did is now in VPC we have created the required output value. Now let's go back to subnet again. So this is taken care. So now what I do is VPC ID, I put it in a variable. CIDR block is a variable, availability zone is a variable, everything is a variable, all these things are done. So now let's just go ahead and create our security group. Okay. Give me a moment. So I'll go to the configurable code of security group. Here I'll have my security group. Okay. I'll copy. See what. Okay. So let's do this. Security group. The name will make it again parameterized. Security group name. Description. Let it be VPC ID. Now this again here would be in the same way. Okay, $var VPC underscore ID. Okay, ingress port, let it be all these things, let it be there. Name, so I'll put the same thing here, security group name inside the tag. Okay, so here also you see the security group name I'm taking as a variable, description I'll let it be VPC ID. Again the same concept what I did in subnet. Okay, I would be taking it from a variable, okay, which I will be reading from the output of the VPC. Okay, so that's done. So all these things are done. Now I need to create a variable.tf here because I'm using variable in this configuration file. Let me copy it. Variable.tf from here. Check the security group. I have a variable.tf. Let me open that. Okay, so what are the variables I have here? Security group name, which is a string. I have VPC ID, which is again a string. I have what are the
Those,
security group name and VPC
yeah,
ID, only those two, right? So I'll go here,
yeah.
I'll remove the others, whatever I have. Control S. Okay, so these three things we thought, right? In our let's say in our what do you say, sprint 0, we are going to
Mm,
provision these three. So
yeah.
vpc.tf is there. My variables are CIDR range, VPC name. These two are my variables. So I'll look into, so CIDR range, VPC name, subnet.tf. I have VPC ID, subnet CIDR range, availability zone, subnet name. Four things are there. So okay, where is the variable.tf of subnet? Security group. Let me go back. Modules, subnet. Let me open it up. Variable subnet. Yeah. Okay. So what I have, VPC ID, subnet CIDR range, availability zone, and subnet name. Here I have subnet CIDR range, availability zone, subnet name, and VPC ID. All four. Okay. And similarly for security group, I have sec group name and VPC ID. So here in variable, sec group name and VPC ID. Okay, all three are done. Now what we will do is, now let's go to, so my reusable codes are ready. Okay, now what I will do, I'll now let me go into my dev environment, and I'll provision a VPC. I'll provision the resources, right? So let me take here. I'll let me name it as main.tf inside my dev. Okay, so I'll open it up. So here what I'm going to do is I'm only going to write modules. Okay, my first module name is dev VPC. Okay, here comes the concept of folder structure which we are talking. Okay, now I'll give the source path. Okay, so what's my source path?
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
here inside
Yep.
dev. One level up, two level up, slash modules, slash VPC. That's my source path for VPC. Okay, so dot slash modules slash VPC. That's the source path for my VPC. Okay, once that is done, next what I'm going to do is in VPC, whatever variables are needed, I'm going to pass those values. I need a CIDR range. Okay, I'll pass this value. I need a VPC. Okay, VPC. Sorry, no. Here. This is okay. I need a VPC name. I'll pass this value. Okay, fine. Let's give the CIDR range as 10.0.0.0 slash 16 we use, right? 16, yeah. 10.0.0.0 slash 16. Okay, my VPC name is dev VPC. Okay, I guess we are good for the modules. Then we have to provision a subnet. Module name is dev hyphen subnet. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's see the subnet variable list what we have. Okay, first we have to give the source, right?
Yep.
So I'll copy this itself. I'll put here. I'll just change the VPC to
Okay.
what's the
Okay.
name we have given? We have given subnet, right? Modules. We have subnet. Subnet. Okay. Then we go to the variables subnet CIDR range. Followed by Anand, I'm going with a decent speed, right? I'm not moving very fast.
Oh, this is absolutely, you know, I'm getting it. So even
Great.
some of the questions are you answered, so because those are the questions I have, like, why we are declaring a path in a thing, but yeah, this answers to me. So you write a module in the environment that is referring to the modules. Okay, yeah, this is completely good. I think I'm mapping what I'm looking for
Yeah,
in my project. Yeah, good.
great.
There is one
Okay.
spelling mistake on the top module. I think we put modules.
What do you? Okay, yeah. Thanks. I think it's mod. Okay, just
In
a
the first,
second.
no, no, here in the first, no, line number one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
module. Sorry. Thank you, Anand. Yeah,
yeah, but that
previously
makes,
I
yeah, those are like a required wording, right? So you cannot write a modules. That's my
no.
understanding.
Yeah, of course, it's a keyword. It's a keyword.
Correct. Those are the keywords. Yeah.
So what I would do is, let's say, I'll take this
I know
value.
some of them are like a module and the data, resource. These are all the main blocks. Yeah.
Make it. Okay, fine. Let me make a slide change. I'll change the slider to this one slash. Okay, I need 255, right? 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256. 256 is 8. 32 minus 8, 24.
Yeah.
Okay, so this would be 1.025. So, okay, so I am giving a cider range here, which is starting from 10.0.1.0 to 10.0.1.255 for the VPC. Okay, I'm creating one subnet, okay, which would be 10.0.1.02. I have given 25 here, so it will be up to 127. Okay, the
Yep.
IP range, right? So let me do one thing. I'll provision two subnets. Okay, so availability zone US East 1A, subnet name is dev.
So if I want to configure the VPC name like instead of dev VPC like a $env, then the same thing, right? Declare the variable
Correct,
and
correct.
pass that.
You will have to put another variable file here at the level of your sorry, yeah. Okay, you'll have to go here. Yeah, where we are doing. Okay, at dev here you have to create another variable file and you have to use the uh, what do you say, your tfvars, terraform.tfvars.
All right.
Okay, we are going to do that. We'll be putting the providers and the
Okay.
variables here also.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me finish this. Yeah, so we have this dev subnet one. Yeah, now this is important. See, this is the VPC ID. Okay, this is dependent on this, what I'm getting from here. Correct.
Yep.
This piece of code will be calling my VPC function to create the VPC ID. Okay, so what will be this value? This value is going to be module dot name of
Dev.
the module dev
Mhm.
hyphen VPC dot the output parameter name which we have defined. What's it? VPC ID. That's going to be the value here.
Got it.
Got it?
Got it.
Because there is a dependency. It gets its value from here.
Yep.
Okay. So similarly, Control S. And now let's go for the last one, which would be module.
So do we need to write a word called dependency in here? Like say first you write a module like a dev subnet one in the top and line numbers 8 you continue dev VPC. Does
Yeah.
it knows the order of execution?
Yes, it knows, right? Because see, there is a dependency here. I told you we have set a dependency. We don't have to write it. You
Okay, you
write
don't
it.
need to.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's intelligence and it's intelligent enough to understand what there is a dependency and the dependent resource has to be created first.
got it. Got it. So
Okay.
it doesn't just go with the line number to execute. I know
No, no,
that's
no, no, no,
an
no, no,
yeah.
no, no.
Okay.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So what I have done is I have created two subnets here. So okay. So I have dev subnet 1, dev subnet 2. Dev subnet 2 is in my US East 1B. Okay. Two subnets are there. And now let's go for a security group. So module devsec group. Okay. So what are the things needed? Let's go to the security. Okay. First of all, source, then followed by the source would be 6B. Let me go to the reusable code. My name is subnet, right? Control C. Go here. Sorry, I did a mistake. No, it won't be subnet. It's security group. We are creating a security group here. Sec group. Here it goes. Sec group. Okay. Then again the variables which we need: security group name and the VPC ID. Security group name dev hyphen allow SSH security group. This sec group followed by VPC ID, which will be exactly the same as we did in subnet. This because the security group also is created in a VPC. Subnet is created in a VPC, security group is created in a VPC, and in our case all these things need to go into this VPC. So I need to have the VPC ID which would be retrieved from this module. Okay, right, Anand?
Yep, yep.
Okay, great. So now let's go here. Where were we? So execution would be happening from here, right? So what other things I would be needing here is I would need a provider.tf, variables.tf, and tf vars. Let's take this, look into the values here. Okay, so what do I have? Provider.tf here. This contains my a environment details. Okay, the variable.tf here would contain the variables which would be consumed by provider.tf. Okay, and the tf vars would contain the values which we need to pass on. Okay, uh,
Mhm.
AWS default region, tf vars, AWS default region equals to, okay, sorry, variable has a definition of default region US East 1, so I don't need to add it here. It's all good. Okay, that's it. So now let's initiate our Terraform from here.
Okay, okay. Yep. I know even in Jenkins we have like a three jobs. Like we run like when we are deploying the code in two environments. We first run in dev one time the Jenkins, and then again we change the parameters to prod and we run it. That means it is
Yes,
executed in
yes.
the Python script two times, like
Yeah.
one in here, one in there. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so we are ready. Terraform plan. So it should give me 4 resources, 1 VPC, 2 subnets, and 1 security group.
Yeah, this exercise is helping me at least to correlate to the stuff, most of the variable declaration and where you define a path and yeah,
Yeah.
and why we run like multiple times in Jenkins. Yeah, this makes sense. Yeah.
So you do it for a dev, then maybe you'll have to do some verification. Okay, there is a problem.
Yeah,
AWS
let
security
me
group,
see that.
allow
It's on
SSH.
module security group, line number. What is saying that
AWS
in
VPC
resource
web has
security, allow
not.
SSH VPC ID is web manager associated with has not been declared in module. Okay.
VPC ID equals to AWS VPC dot web dot ID. Managed resource AWS VPC web has not been declared in module dev sec group. Okay, let's go back. what I have done. Let's go back.
Yeah, this will help me
Okay.
at least to understand, right? Now, yeah, this
Uh,
is the kind of errors we get it, and let's see.
so DevSec group. We have source modules. Okay. DevSec group. Okay. Sources modules. Sec group.
Is it
Security group name is right. It says module dev VPC VPC ID.
module.wpc.vpcid? So, is it sec grp or sec underscore grp? I just want to see that. How?
Modules sec group tf. So over there is no definition. So now let me go to seggroup.tf. Seggroup.tf variable seggroup.tf. Here VPC ID equals to dollar $VPC ID. Now the variable dollar $VPC ID. So did I not save it? Okay, I didn't save. This is a stupid mistake every time I do. I change the file, I forget to save it.
Uh,
Okay, now invalid character. Okay, I forgot to put double quotes. Where it is? Security group definition, right? Security group.tf. I have to put double quotes.
okay.
So this is the beauty of Terraform plan.
Yep. Yep. I like it too.
So
Um,
so all your issues and all you can see once you are completely satisfied, then only you go for
Correct.
this.
Because as a, beginner, or even in the instead of deploying to the environment, you
Wrong
can see at
resource.
least your code is correct or
Yeah,
not. Yeah.
yeah. So here you see there are four resources, as I said, two subnet groups, one VPC, and a security group. Okay, so let's take a quick look. Okay, firstly we have a security group. Okay, allow SSH and all. The VPC ID would be known only after things are applied, because the VPC needs to be created, then only we'll get back the VPC ID. Okay, similarly subnet 1 is my dev subnet 1. Okay, in this is my cider, this is in availability zone 1A. The VPC ID would be created only after we have created the VPC ID. It will be applied on the subnet.
Yep.
Similarly,
Yep.
your
Yep.
VPC, everything cider range is
This
here.
range and
Is the default VPC. Okay.
the tag
Now
is
let's
updated here. I see that the dev
yeah.
VPC tag. Yeah.
Mhm. So Terraform.
So whatever you give the direct values, it
Mhm.
takes those values, whatever is known.
Yes. For
It fills
runtime things.
automatically. Let's say, for example, instance tenancy is a default,
Yeah.
enable DNS support equals to true. So those
Yeah.
are like a default. It takes those parameters,
Yes. Yes.
and
So whatever
some
you
of the
hard
parameters.
code,
Yeah,
whatever you hard code or you pass in the TF-virus files and all, it will show you here itself in the plan. But if
yeah,
anything is there which is runtime, for example, the VPC ID to be used in the subnet and your security group is a runtime value which will be provided only after the VPC is created.
yep,
Those things it will write to be applied after the resources has been provisioned.
yep.
Okay, so let's go and apply. I hope it creates the things. Okay, so I would say yes. Okay, so we have 4 resources created. Now let's go here. Let me go to my VPC. Let me just refresh this page. VPC dashboard. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, I see 2 VPCs. Okay, let's go here. Okay, I see here my dev VPC, right? Let me get inside my dev VPC. Okay, please copy the VPC ID. Now let's go to our subnets. Filter the subnets with the VPC ID. There should be 2 subnets. See, dev subnet 1 and dev subnet 2. Okay, and we'll go to the security groups and we'll again filter the security group with the VPC ID that gives me this. Okay, allow security group which is created here. Every VPC has a default security group, right? We don't create this one, but when VPC gets provisioned, it comes in with the VPC. Okay,
Yep.
and this one is the one which we configured, dev allow SSH security group. Okay, so now our dev for sprint 0 is ready. Okay, now we need to do for prod. So what we will do, this main.tf in dev is there. Okay, so we'll copy main.tf provider.tf terraform tf vars variable.tf all 4. Now we'll go here, we'll go into our production environment, we'll save it here. Let's open the main.tf of production. Okay, so I will change my cider for my production VPC to 10.2.24. My so all my source would remain same, right? It is also going to use the same reusable code which my dev used. Okay, only thing is I'm going to pass different values to it. Okay, so my dev VPC would now I'm creating a prod VPC now. Okay, so prod VPC, my cider range changes. When I come to subnet, it is going to be my, sorry, here it is going to be my prod VPC. This is going to be my prod subnet. Cider range is going to be 2 dot US East 1A. Again, it's fine. Subnet name is prod subnet 1. VPC ID. This is going to change from dev VPC to prod VPC. Got it right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
this
Yep.
dynamic value would be taken from the VPC for the prod which we are going to create. Okay, instead of the
Yep.
dev one, right?
Yep.
So similarly, this one would be again prod subnet 2. Range is going to be 2 dot. Just 1B remains same. Prod subnet 2. This is going to change to prod VPC dot. Okay, devsec group will be changed to prodsec group. The source remains same. Name of the security group will change to prod allow SSH security group, and this would change to prod. Okay, we will be referring this one same as this concept. We will be referring this prod VPC here. Okay, all
Yep.
set for the production deployment. Okay, we changed all the required values. Now we'll go here. Okay, great. Ideally, what I should have done is in this, let the plan run. What I should have done is I should have done it in a reverse way. Okay, I should have gone with the AWS resources using Terraform first, followed by the project structure. But I thought you need the project structure more than these things, so I swapped it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So,
Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah.
so we have all four resources. Let's do. So I would
So
do a
my
apply.
Terraform isn't huge but not complex if it looks like, because I don't see any kind of confusion in the code. It looks pretty okay, but sometimes when we look into the real issues, hey, update the tag for this resource, then I don't know where to update, whether directly go ahead and update under the resource section, or I have to look update in the module block. So that is where some of the confusions, but this structure is helping me always. Modules, just look for the source and where it is referring, and yeah, so that I need to go through that structure and make up my mind.
So I'll send you this code. Maybe if we complete today itself, I'll send you this one. Okay, I'll send
Yeah,
them. I'll ask them to upload it. So you do
correct,
this exercise from your end. You repeat it from your end completely. Then I think you'll get absolute clarity.
correct,
I
correct, because you started from scratch, so at least it's very easy to get into
Yeah.
that.
Okay. So we have our resources created. Now let me go back to the VPC dashboard. Okay, I have three VPCs now. If I look here, I have my prod VPC as well in place. Okay, so here the CIDR range 10.0.2.0/24 is there. Okay, the details are here. We copy the VPC ID. Let's go to the subnet. We have prod subnet 1 and prod subnet 2 in place. Okay, so I have two prod subnets. We go to the security groups. Have the security group. One second, sorry, what? Dev allow SG, prod allow SG, didn't we do it properly? What? Strange.
Um,
Let's go back. Four resources are added, right? One VPC, two subnet group, one security group. Why is it not showing the security group?
just
Hmm,
refresh.
Let me open the state file here, introduction, tf state, prod sec group. Okay, AWS security group. Okay, the name is allow SSH. I forgot to change the name here, and the VPC ID is 84ED. 84ED. Is this the same VPC which you have created? Yeah, we have created the same VPC ED. 84ED. So Was it not CD?
Yeah, yeah. Just refresh this AWS instance like that. Refresh and just
Okay, yeah, it is there. Yeah. Here, yeah. So it was not refreshed. You said it right. Okay, here I have my prod. Oh, I was worried. What happened?
yeah.
Fine, great. So we have our dev and prod. So my what do you say sprint zero is done. So now what we would do is our next sprint we have to create EC2 and the bucket. Fine.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and quickly do that. Okay, we'll again go back to the modules. Here we have my instance. Okay, let me pull out a existing EC2 code. My ec2.tf. Put here instance.tf. I'll make it instance.tf. Let's open this. Things we have. Okay. Resource AWS instance. The name is management. I would make the name. Yeah, fine. Let it be. AMI is this instance type. Okay, now we have this dep environment and all. So let me make it. Okay, what should I do? What should I do? Okay, let it be dep environment only. Let it be dep environment only. Depending on the dep. Okay, so my instance type depends on the deployment environment. Okay, accordingly it will be. Okay, no, let me make it simple. We are learning the concept of modules, so let me keep it to modules only. It's not too confusion. Okay, so here, or do you prefer using the other way? uh,
The step.
let it be this let it be this way. So we have ec2 class. We would have to put a map now again. Okay, let's keep it simple only. Okay,
So we need to define a variable in the same thing, right? If you go for instance type like this,
yeah. So Anand, just give me a moment, please.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, got a call. So we have this variable instance class. Now VPC security IDs. Now I'll make it. Okay. I did a mistake. What I should have done is uh, I should have got the security IDs in output here. So security group.tf. Let's try here. Or put the same concept, the way we used for VPC. Okay.
Okay.
See, the EC2 would need the security group ID. Getting me?
Yep. Yep.
Security group ID and the what do you say, your subnet IDs. So let's just
Yeah.
make them. Okay, so value equals to AWS security group dot allow SSH dot. What is needed here? instance, I need the security group ID. Okay, so security group dot ID. Control S. Similarly, for the subnet also, I would need output output. The name is subnet ID. Okay.
Yeah, just the spelling. Yes.
You can give anything, whatever, like accordingly you will call it. So this is not a keyword. Okay,
Oh,
this is a keyword. Okay,
yeah,
if you see here, this is a keyword, the first one, resource type, but this is a name variable which I am using. Okay,
yeah,
so this has to be strictly followed.
yeah.
Okay, this has to be strictly followed. This is my wish. So here I'm giving the output name. Okay, so it's okay if I can have something which I like. Value equals to AWS subnet dot subnet dot ID. Done. Now instance dot tf was VPC security group security group IDs such dollar. Okay, subnet ID AWS subnet ID. Again, this will be a variable. Okay, tags name subnet name. I don't need any output here. My EC2 is not going to be read by anyone. Fine. So I have my EC2. Okay, what are the things which are making configurable is the instance type and the VPC security group ID, which accordingly dev or prod, whatever is there, accordingly I'll be configuring. The subnet ID accordingly, again, whatever dev or prod, whatever I want, I would be configuring. Tags, it's again the name of the subnet I have put. Okay. So this is the EC2 I have done. Now I'll have to create a variable.tf here. Just go here. So what are the things we need from here? We need the instance class. We need the instance class. We need the security group ID. Okay. We need what else? Security group ID. We need subnet ID. Sorry. We need the subnet ID and subnet name. Subnet ID and subnet name.
Yep.
That's it. Done. So you wanted to have it 1 hour, right? So I'll do one thing. Let me not go for security group. Sorry, let me not go for the bucket. I think we'll stop at EC2 instance. I think anyways the picture would be clear, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So let's go ahead. This is done. Let's go ahead and go to our dev environment, dev here, my main.tf. Okay, I'll start configuring this one. I'll have one more module added.
Okay.
Module
I got it. I got it. Okay.
dev instance. Okay, so
Now we're
source would
adding
be,
same thing for an EC2 instance.
yes, instead of seg group, this is going to be environment. Sorry, yes, modules. What's the name? Instance. Sorry, sorry. Instance. Then I'll have the variables. Okay, what are the variables? Instance class, followed by security group ID, followed by subnet ID, followed by subnet name. Why do I have a subnet name here? It should be security, it should be instance name, right? Tags, it should be instance name, not subnet name. Instance name should be instance name. Similarly, in the variable TF, it should be instance name.
Yep.
And only in main.tf, main.tf, it should be instance name. Okay, so instance class t3 dot micro security group ID. Again, this is going to be module dot, my security group is devsec group dot ID. Sorry, what is that I have written? Dot, sorry, sgid. That's my output, right? Sgid. Subgroup dot sgid. Similarly, subnet ID will be my module. Now I'll decide in which subnet I have to create. I want to create in the first subnet, so I'll take this one. Okay, dev subnet 1. I have two modules, right? In availability zone 1 and AZ2. So I'll create my EC2 in AZ1. Dev subnet 1 dot, okay, module dot this dot, now what is the name we have given here in subnet output? sbnt hyphen id. Let's copy this. Sbnt, sorry, main.tf, sbnt dot id, and instance name is dev instance. Okay, so I have my dev thing ready. Let's do a Terraform plan. We'll get into dev. Okay, we are doing for the dev. Okay. Whew. Okay, there is a mistake. Module dev instance. The module is not yet installed on Terraform. We need to install. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
EC2
Yeah.
was not. EC2 is being done for the first time. Terraform.
What is first time we ran it before, right?
No, but
VPC.
we didn't run EC2, right? We are doing EC2 now. It's a new module.
Okay.
EC2 is a new module. So it downloaded whatever was needed for VPC and subnet and security group. It didn't download the modules which are needed for EC2.
Yeah.
Okay, if you once download EC2, then you make n number of changes to the EC2 file. You add new EC2 files and all. That is fine. But for
Yeah.
the first time when you are adding a new resource, you have to init it
Correct.
because the libraries related to, or the, what do you say, those plugins related to those resources, they are not present in my local.
Yep.
Now I can
Yep.
go for Terraform plan. Okay, that's a problem. So subnet ID, AWS instance
Invalid
management
reference
subnet
instance.tf in
dollar.
resource AW management.
Definition to resource type must be followed by at least one attribute access specifying the resource name. So what did I do? Subnet ID and instance name, right? Let's go back. Instance.tf. Subnet ID is dollar subnet ID dollar instance name. So variable.tf subnet ID and instance name. This is correct. Tf variable.tf subnet ID. Okay, then definition resource
Reference to
type.
resource type must be followed by at least one attribute access specifying the resource type.
Subnet ID. So what I
Do you need
do?
to set the default value in each instance?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Instance.tf. I think I'm calling something wrong. Main.tf. Let me look here. Dev instance. Subnet ID is module dot dev subnet one dot subnet ID. Instance name is dev instance. This is fine. Variable.tf. Okay. Okay, fine. Let's do Anand. Let's do one thing. Let me look into this issue. Anyways, I think
Yep.
it's going to be 8.
Yeah.
So we'll take
Let's
a
see
break
like
here.
other 2 3 minutes. Let's see if anything we can
Okay,
figure
okay,
it
fine,
out.
right?
Just
Okay.
curious. I just want to see
Yeah, yeah,
if
yeah.
anything
Fine.
like quickly.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah. I think
this is a way
just
because I know the path what you are looking into because you are looking into the uh, module and the variables and you are going through that road. I just
yeah.
curious. Um, Sometimes it may missing the required parameters that where it compared. Hey, we need this value, but this is a little different. Module
Subnet
instance
ID
.ef
and instance name are creating problem. Subnet ID and instance name. Subnet ID.
AWS instance dot management. Let's go to that
So
and
that is this. That is this. Our EC2 instance. Whatever I'm creating. That
yeah,
name, if you see, the name of that EC2 instance, if you see in instance.tf, its name is AWS instance dot management. So this is fine.
management and
So it's
instance
taking
type.
the AMI properly. Instance type
So
is
the
where.
actual execution of code is this one, right? Wherever there is a resource, that is where it's trying to get the resource. The remaining things are
Okay, here.
the
I got it. This is the mistake. Where dot,
okay, okay.
where dot. It's not taking it as a variable.
Oh, yeah, yep, thanks.
Silly mistakes. It gives you
Yeah, yeah,
nightmares.
yeah. No, but these are very, as a learner, definitely, hey, if you get this, look into those values and go back.
Yep, it started refreshing the state.
So whenever we are adding a new resource, the init needs to be run. Yeah, that's
Adding a new resource for the first time
correct.
in that
First time, yeah,
particular project.
correct. If it's a,
Okay.
yeah, if it's a second EC2,
You
you
see
don't need to do anything.
you
Yeah.
see one interesting thing. Okay. The subnet ID, okay, even if it is dynamic, it is giving me value. You know why? Because we have already created the subnet and the ID is available.
Oh,
If we had done this EC2 in the first go itself, then it would have given me to be applied after resource provisioning.
oh, okay, okay.
Got me? Because we
Yep.
ran the subnet in the first go, now the subnet is available. So even if it is, I am setting it dynamically, the subnet ID, you see, even if I am doing this subnet ID, where is main.tf? Yeah. Even if I am doing this subnet ID from module.dev subnet one subnet ID, still it is going to pull it out because the resource is available.
Yep.
Okay, so it's great, and we are ready to do the Terraform apply.
Yep.
Started creating the instance for us. Okay, first it will see if there is any change which is needed to go in, it will do. Then it will resource creation. So I'm not repeating the exercise for dev, Anand. I think it's clear only whatever
Yes.
we did from sprint zero activity.
Yep. Yep.
See, one resource added. So now
Yep.
let's quickly go to our EC2. Yeah, you see the dev instance is running. If I get
Yep.
into the instance, you will see it has been provisioned in my, let's see the networking.
Yep.
Okay,
ICT.
first let's see the networking. It's there in my dev VPC inside my dev subnet 1. If I see my security, it is using my security group dev allow SSHSG. So whatever we did, all those things came up for dev. Now
Perfect.
we can
Yeah.
repeat the same thing for prod, just we'll change the values to prod dot prod dot prod dot. Okay,
Yep. Yep.
fine. So I'll
Appreciate.
do this thing. I'll share this module completely. I'll
Yep.
uh, I don't want to pay AWS Terraform
Yeah,
destroy.
yeah, yeah,
So I'll do one thing. I'll though I didn't show you the dev part of EC2 and S3, sorry, prod part of EC2 and the S3 thing. I will code it. Okay. I'll
yeah.
package it and I'll share. I'll give it to the support team to share it with you. Okay.
Appreciate. Yep, yep.
So
And I can
you
easily
can.
correlate S3 because
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
S3 we have done multiple times. Okay.
correct.
The EC2 was very important because we are using the VPC subnet and the security group which we have created in the EC2. So those are related
Correct.
materials.
Correct.
S3 would be an independent thing. It
Correct.
doesn't matter. Just the region US East
Correct.
1 will be using. Apart from that, everything is independent. So it's not a big deal.
Yep.
Okay, so
Yep.
I'll just, but still I'll put in the code and I'll share it with the support team and I'll ask them to send it your way. Okay,
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
fine, Anand. Then have
Okay
a good
then.
day ahead. We'll
Yep.
catch up tomorrow. From tomorrow, we'll get into individual resources. I think 2 days and we should be done, and then 90% done. Then one web project kind of thing we'll do. Okay, so
Excellent.
maybe more 2 to 4 sessions only. Okay,
Appreciate. Appreciate. Yep. Thank
fine.
you very
Thank you
much.
so much.
Mhm.
Bye. Have a